Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 as we close in on our 16th anniversary coming up in August on the air. That's a long time. I tell you, that's a lot of words over the years, but we got a guy on right now that I go back a long time. I became the outdoor editor of Commercial Appeal here in Memphis in 1988.
You're aging yourself.
I'm going to age myself right now because I just celebrated my 50th anniversary of writing in Memphis, going back to 1967. So now I've really aged myself, and I'm going to tell you, this guy that's coming on with us right now is known as the General. I was always known as the Corporal around here when I got in the boat with this guy. The hero from Bee Branch, Arkansas, a man that loves deer hunting about as much as I do, is Larry Nixon. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Larry. How are you today?
I'm doing good. It's just good to hear your voice, to know that some of us are still here, and some of us are still working. Right, Larry?
That's right. This is 40 years for me fishing bass tournaments.
I was just going through it, and you stole it again, like you've done before. 40 years. And now you said we had Joe. Now, what am I wearing today, Ron?
Joe, by the way, I'm going to get a picture of you, of us in studio. Larry has his FLW cap on.
I do, Joe. That's
Sweet.
Right.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah.
And, talk about FLW. Larry, you have, again, qualified for the Forest Wood Cup. And, I think Lake Murray is going to be a good lake for you.
Well, it could be. I like summer. There's no doubt about that.
That's right.
And believe me, it's summer here. It's going to be 100 here for the next 4 days.
Yeah.
But it's my kind of lake, and if I can just get lucky early in the morning and get on a few of them good herring spots and get me a good start going, I think I can do good.
Well,
this lake is real fickle in August now. It's real fickle. Ask Cody Meyer.
We're gonna ask Cody later about that.
The second day, never got a bite.
Yeah,
right.
And have things work out for you.
That any blueback herring lake is like that, Larry. If you don't get them early when those herring are up, then you got to go searching. But one of your strengths, and one of the things I've always admired, and I've been following you, Larry, now for 40 years.
Okay, you're aging.
One of your strengths is Texas rig fishing. How does Lake Murray set up for you to Texas rig a soft plastic, a Yamamoto
Absolutely
worm?
Perfect. If I could find enough brush piles,
that's what he's looking for.
If the fish will get in them. So far, I haven't had much luck in them, but that's what I'm really looking for during my pre-fish time. Is I'm looking for brush piles and places where I can go throw a worm because that's my style. And I can't beat the bank with these kids no more. I've done got too old for that. And,
right.
If I got to go sling at the bank all day long with a buzz bait, I'm in deep trouble.
Well, and you've Texas rigged, and I admire the way that you do that, how you are patient. People today, a lot of the fishermen today, they like to run the banks, as you say, and go 90 miles an hour. Well, I can't do that either. But when you go and use a Texas rig soft plastic, and of course you're using different Yamamoto baits, what tells you what kind of soft plastic do you use when you Texas rig?
Well, the main thing is to fish the size that, you got to pick out a bait that's the right size for the watercolor. And, Murray's a clear lake, and usually a great big worm is not good unless you're fishing late in the evening or early in the morning or after dark. And, now if you run on up the river or somewhere and get in a little bit more stained water, then, a big old 8, 9, 10-inch worm is just perfect. But, it's more of a finesse lake. It's like a 6 and 7-inch
a cutter type worm.
Yeah, category cut tail and
cut tail, right?
Cinco, and it's that type of worm fishing.
Let me ask you, Larry. We're not aging anybody, but you have seen some great evolution in the sport of fishing. If I'm not mistaken, I think you won $600 the first time you won something, if I'm not mistaken, all those many years ago. What do you think about the sport now from where you started? What would you say, and I know you're going to say electronics probably, but talk a little bit about your career and how you're able to continue doing what you love.
Well, it's been one of them long careers that's been very enjoyable. And, I started out back with the old flashers, and now everybody's got 4 depth finders in their boat, and I don't know how they got that many eyes to operate all that, but they do. And I'm still using 2, boys. I got 2 of them Lowrance 12s on my boat. And I got split screen on both of them, and I still fish the way I used to. And that's the reason why I think that I can still continue to compete, after 40 years. My hands are wore out, my shoulders wore out, but as long as I fish the way I like to fish, I can fish for a long time.
And let me hold on right now, because I want to. You're not hanging them up after this year, right? You're going to. Are we going to see Larry Nixon next year?
I have no plans on retiring.
There you go.
Right now. I've always said that when I start embarrassing myself fishing, I'll retire.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you one more. Well, hold on, John. This, I want to ask Joe, what does a person like Larry Nixon mean to the FLW?
Oh, having a legend like Larry Nixon fishing the FLW Tour means so much to the FLW Tour. It adds legitimacy to the organization itself. Having guys like Larry Nixon and Jimmy Houston and the legends of the sport out here competing on tour is great for these younger anglers. Guys like Jeff Sprague that are coming up.
Yeah,
Joey Cifuentes. I know. That's been Larry's travel partner for the last couple of years. Joey fished as a co-angler for a couple of years on tour, and then made the switch to the pro side this year after fishing with Larry for many years, and made the Forest Wood Cup in his first year. So,
that's awesome.
Having these guys like Larry Nixon on tour is huge for FLW, and I can't say how happy I am to hear that he'll be back next year as well.
That's awesome. Hey, Larry, Larry Ray had asked you about the changes and everything that you've seen. But also fishing rods. They have changed over the years.
Yeah.
Way back when we were using broomsticks to worm fish with about 6 feet long. And now, you have 7-foot 3-inch rods for worm fishing and everything else. And of course you use the Dobbins rods. What are those changes like that you've seen over the years on rods?
Well, the biggest change, is line.
Yeah.
That was the first change that allowed us to go to a little bit longer rods and maybe not quite so stiff, where you got a little more sensitivity in them. Back in the day we was having to use monofilament, and you had a mile of stretch in it, and you had to have a broomstick. Nowadays you use braid with spinning rods and tie you a leader on there, and you can get away with a light action rod, which is really good for feeling the bottom, and not only that, keeping the fish from feeling you. So, that it's just kind of a graduating thing. And yes, I use Dobbins. I use that 7'3" a lot. But when I get out here in that deep water, I'm still a 7-foot guy, because it's just I can feel them much better.
That's right. Yeah.
And react much faster.
That's awesome. And you talk about lines. Seaguar, they've come out with so many different lines now, but they're fluorocarbon, like you're talking about, and they have a wonderful braid too. There's vast improvements made over fluorocarbon fishing lines over the years, hasn't it?
Yes, they are. I mean, these guys have really got it down pat now. They're building great lines. It's just it's an advantage to the fishermen. I can think of many tournaments where I wish the heck I'd have had some good line, because you go out there and lose 20 pounds of spotted bass before 8:30 in the morning, and it's basically all because of the line back there.
That's the only thing between you and the fish.
I'd give anything for fluorocarbon or braid with a leader back then.
And talking to Larry Nixon, we're going to close it out. Larry, what would it mean to you to win this?
Oh, it means so much you don't even know. I've tried to win this cup for probably 18 years now, and I've been so close so many times.
Yes.
I've had Mother Nature steal it from me about 3 different times.
That's right.
Just get one of them weird August fronts the last day and just ruin my area. And hopefully I'll get it done before I have to retire. And it to me that right now is all I'm fishing for, is to win that cup.
Well, I got to ask you before we leave you, did you kill a big deer this past winter?
No, I had that heart surgery in August.
That's right.
That's true.
I actually saw 2 really big deer in Kansas, but both of them were 4.5 to 5.5 years old, and they were 160s. I'm talking 160s, legitimate 160s.
Oh.
And any other time, you know what, I'd have whacked one of them. But
well, I know
I've already got 3 or 4 160s. I'm a 180 or a 200, so I let both of them go, and I said, I hope I see you next year.
Well, I hope you do too, Larry. You're a gentleman. Appreciate our friendship over the years. He in B Branch, Arkansas, folks, you drive through there and ask anybody if they know Larry Nixon. They say, yeah, that's a deer hunter out here that lives around here.
Everybody in this whole Mid-South area knows who the general is.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see you at the Cup, my friend.
Yeah, good.
All the best.
I don't believe in luck, Larry. Just go out and get them and win them for us. I'm not going to say, one of those veterans. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Larry. Joe, you hang on. Larry, we'll talk to you maybe down the road sometime. Hang in there with us, and we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find